crazy elegant scheme. But what was amazing is that they dragged it over the period of about 3 or 4 weeks to kind of gain that trust with me, right? They really slow rolled me on this thing. Be careful, trust your spider senses. And I guess really, if you're doing anything like this, make sure the other person's on video so you can at least screen capture them. And then I guess trust your spider senses. Like, I kind of felt like something might have been off. I guess was busy and just kind of plowed through it logistically. Well, my Facebook got hacked, and I'm going to walk you through how they did it. This was a crazy, amazing, detailed hack that lasted over a period of 3 weeks. Is kind of the process that they took to get full access into my Facebook account, and they've actually now currently got me shut down on a Facebook profile that I've owned for 18 years and has been verified, or blue check mark verified account, for 7 years. So here's what they did. I have done, 1,000 media interviews over the last 25 years. We got on Oprah. I've been in the physical print edition of Forbes, Fortune, Inc., Success, American Airlines magazines, like the actual paper magazines. I've done so many media interviews. So I'm really used to getting people reaching out to me and saying, hey, we want to cover you on whatever. So this was a big podcast I was going to be on, and it doesn't matter what the show was because it was a scam. But there was no money involved. It was a legit, hey, we want you to be a guest on this podcast, a show that I've wanted to be on. And I've been on some big podcasts over the years. I reached back out and said, yes, I'd love to do it. They said, great, we'll book it for roughly 30 days out. They gave me a couple of dates and times to select from. I picked a date and time that worked. They confirmed it. That was it. Didn't hear from them again. About a week later, they sent me a note back, said, hey, can we get your bio and your headshot and, any rough topics you want to cover on the episode? I said, sure. Sent it over to them. Standard procedure. I do that all the time. About a week after that, they came back and they said, hey, here's a list of potential questions we're thinking of asking you. What do you think of those? I said, sounds great. Everything looks good. Sent that back over to them again. About a week before the episode, I get an email. Hey, we want to just make sure that the setup is properly set up on the tech, because we're actually going to do this as a restream, and we're going to stream it live from Facebook, and then it'll also be on YouTube and everything else. So we just want to do a tech setup call with you. Cool. Happens once in a while, not very often. Normally I come back and go, look, I've done hundreds of paid speaking events. I've been paid to speak in 29 countries. I've been doing paid speaking events over Zoom and Skype for like 12 years. Anyway, I said yes to it, no problem. Hop on a Zoom call, my Zoom. Normally I send out my Zoom link, hop on my Zoom link. And the first little clue that something was off was the guy that I was talking to was only on audio. But what he said to me was, hey, I'm just driving my kids to practice. Can we just do this on audio? I said, yeah, no problem. I'm on video. But it seemed odd. Anyway, then he was like, hey, how was Dubai? Saw you're just speaking at Mind Valley. How was your trip to Italy? He asked me a couple of questions about stuff that had been happening recently, like building rapport, chatting for a couple minutes, seemed pretty natural. And then he goes, okay, sorry for kind of wasting your time. Let me dive into the setup here. He goes, so log into your Facebook account. Okay, go to your business manager. And he's like telling me where to go with everything. And he knows exactly where everything is, like really fast, boom, boom, boom. So I'm moving around and go, wow, this guy really knows his way around. I have no idea where half of these places even were before. Get it all set up, no problem, helping him move stuff. And I can't get it to do what he's trying to get me to do. So after about 10 or 15 minutes, I got a little bit frustrated. I said, hey, why don't you just talk to my marketing manager, walk her through this whole system. She can get it set up for me. I'm too busy. He goes, great. So I introduced him to my marketing manager. Boom, Bob's your uncle. Next day, he does a call with her. Same kind of a thing. Hey, I heard Cameron was over in Dubai. How was his event? Heard he was really good at speaking. Does he do a lot of that? Just kind of chatting with her. After about a minute, he goes, okay, let's dive in. I know he was frustrated yesterday. Just normal, organic stuff. But again, he was on audio only over Zoom. Same couple things happened. Couldn't get it to work, but he really knew his way around the business manager. And then he said, here, let me just send you a quick link right now. Click on the link. And he sent her a link over Zoom, and that didn't work. And then he said, okay, let me just email you a link. So she clicked on that link. And then as she was kind of clicking on it, she goes, something's odd here. I don't know why I'm clicking on a link and nothing's happening. So she's like, you know what? I need to book you again tomorrow. My kid's crying. I got to go. And she shut her laptop down. She messaged my EA, who's been with me for like 9 years, and they literally changed all the accounts, redid everything. We had 2-factor authentication set up. But in about that 5 to 7 minute period when he'd sent out a couple of the links, was still trying to work everything out. And then by the time we had everything changed with passwords, he'd set up 3 fake Facebook pages tied to my profile and removed me as an admin, removed my EA as admin, removed my marketing manager as admin, removed us from admins from all of our pages, and had set himself up as an admin. So kind of in that process of time, he was able to set up the 3 Facebook pages. Anyway, we changed all the passwords, everything was locked out, figured everything was totally fine. But I guess because he still had access to the pages that he set up, he was then able to, over the next week or so, start running ads and spoofing some stuff. Thankfully, he didn't have access to my account, so he didn't have access to my credit card. We're still going to go back through and for like a 4th time and make sure there's been no charges. But in that period of about a week's time, there was enough weird activity that people started reporting my profile because he was like spamming people and trying to do, I don't know what kind of offers. So my Facebook account got flagged. And then when I went in to upload my passport and upload my video, Facebook, because he was still spamming off the pages, closed down my account. And then all of a sudden we're now dealing with bots and we're trying to like get back in. Long story short, we're working with somebody to hopefully get everything back up. Thankfully, it's a verified profile. Thankfully, my page is verified. Thankfully, it's tied to a verified Instagram account. It's tied to my business manager account. Thankfully, I've had them verified for about 5 to 7 years, and we've never had any problems. Anyway, crazy elegant scheme. But what was amazing is that they dragged it over the period of about 3 or 4 weeks to kind of gain that trust with me, right? They really slow rolled me on this thing. Anyway, be careful, trust your spider senses. And I guess really, if you're doing anything like this, make sure the other person's on video so you can at least screen capture them. And then I guess trust your spider senses. Like I kind of felt like something might have been off. I guess was busy and just kind of plowed through it logistically. So anyway, hope it doesn't happen to you. Please share it. I would share this link to this YouTube on your social media, through email us, whatever. Tell people about this scam because it's pretty elaborate what's happened. And what they're basically trying to do is get access to your account so they can then use your credit cards that's tied to your business manager to run all these ads. And then by the time anything happens, they've like deleted the pages, done whatever.